Massively bullish. Why is FTT doing so well? FTX revival proposal supported by Sam Bankman-Fried lifts FTT token. The crypto exchange founder tweeted his support for influencer Neuner's revival idea, sending the battered token as much as 47% higher. Okay. FTT, the native cryptocurrency of the failed FTX crypto exchange, surged Friday after the platform's founder, Sam Bankman-Fried, came out in support of an exchange revival plan proposed by crypto influencer Neuner. So I actually saw this on Wall Street Silver's Twitter.com, Furu Finance. Are you guys following Furu Finance on Twitter? 378 followers. Go check out Furu Finance on Twitter. But if you go to Wall Street Silver, they actually tweet it. They actually had this. So you had was there we go. Screenshotted just in case it was deleted. Neuner tweeted, "Fire up the FTX exchange, issue a FTT token, distribute the token to creditors, depositors, accrue 100% of profit to token holders. It will be the biggest exchange in the world, and users will be made more than whole." So it's a new FTT token. So it's not the current FTT token. So why do people think that? Why are people assuming that if they buy that? I guess people are just think that FTX is going to be revolved. Maybe it'll be tradable one for one. Or maybe they'll just use the existing FTT tokens. No, because because you have to be a creditor or a depositor to get this one. So it won't be called FTT. You'll get it basically an IOU. So So Sam Bankman-Fried responded, "I continue to think that this would be a productive path for parties to explore. I hope," he loves those asterisks, "that the team in place will do so." There you go. So that's why FTT is pumping so much. Yeah. So I guess so. This was actually interesting because this is what basically everyone in crypto is doing when their company goes under. So you had that was the proposal that Simon Dixon had or something for Celsius, because it was actually used by Bitfinex. So what Bitfinex did was they were insolvent, they messed up, and what they did was they issued a token. It was an IOU. Each thing represented $1, and they couldn't pay back depositors. Because they were just insolvent. I'm not sure exactly why, but they gave them an IOU token, and the token basically said that Bitfinex would pay back $1 to the holder of that token in the future, provided that they were solvent. So basically, it would trade on an exchange for a lot less than $1, and it was sort of a bet. If you bet that Bitfinex could get through it, they could raise enough capital and they could become solvent again, then you'd receive $1, or you'd receive equity in the company. So you could either take the $1, or you could take equity in the company, or you could say, "I don't think they're going to make it," and you could just dump it for pennies on the dollar. So you could dump it for like 11 cents or 10 cents, whatever it was trading for at the time. Maybe sometimes 15. I guess depending on the news would be how the token price would fluctuate. Like if there was positive news for Bitfinex, then what they would do is the price would go up because people would think that the token would be in fact redeemable for $1, so it would trade closer. But yeah, that's really what it was. So they're trying, I guess Neuner's proposing that FTX do the same thing. Sam Bankman-Fried, who is no longer the CEO of FTX, is responding, whatever it is. I guess he's hoping that would save him from any incrimination or anything like that. So he's responding. That would be a good pathway. This is cryptocurrency, turning back into, cryptocurrency straying from the ethos, and I think if they, why would regulators allow this to happen? If these cryptocurrencies exchange know that if they go under, they could start monetizing debt and use that as a means to recover, then they'll continue doing the same things that they do, right? They'll continue doing the same reckless, dishonest practices that they have been doing for years. But if they know that if they play games that there's no way out, then I'd say it would be a lot more likely that these horrible things that are having on centralized exchanges are not going to continue in the future. So, I mean, I guess the best way to characterize this FTT situation would be it's kind of like a fix. It's like a fix of like a drug addict that like needs heroin. Like, just instead of ripping the Band-Aid off and taking away the heroin, you're kind of just giving him another fix. It's like an injection. It's like a cortisone injection or whatever. Instead of doing the healthy thing, doing the right thing, and having these companies pay back what they can and go insolvent, we're gonna give FTX the ability to. We're gonna give these cryptocurrencies exchanges the ability to continue to play games, knowing that they could always fall back on monetizing their debt, kind of like what the U.S. government does, huh? It's what Wall Street Silver said. It's sort of like what the Fed does with U.S. Treasuries. With the U.S. Treasury to create extra digital U.S. dollar token to keep funding the debts and deficits. That is why the Fed is to pivot in 2023. You can't taper a Ponzi. That's actually an interesting point. That is more evidence to be bullish on the markets in the future, because the Fed will eventually pivot. Because if they keep raising rates, people don't remember that they have to pay interest on the debt. They don't have to pay the full debt, but they have to pay the interest. So if they raise rates and interest rates are high, then that would be a tremendous expense incurred on the U.S. government, which is another reason why I am still bullish on the 4-year cycle. But that's for a different story. So what do you guys think about that? Interesting story. Heard it here second, but maybe that's why the FTT token's pumping at 22.6%. Is FTX too big to fail? I think actually it's a very strong possibility that this is how it's gonna end up playing out. I don't know. Is Sam Bankman-Fried going to avoid jail? And will FTX have a future? That's the question. If institutions like Grayscale want to buy up crypto firms, expecting them to engineer a major new local law. A major new local law. I don't know. How are they going to engineer a new local law? They'll like have the news agencies FUD it. I don't know. I mean, bro, you just clicked on a sponsored link, lol. Think the price of Hex is correlated to ETH more than BTC. Yes, but ETH, it's correlated to ETH, and ETH is correlated to BTC. Hart's law, right? They're paired in liquidity. Not Grayscale, Goldman Sachs. Oh, I'm sorry, Goldman Sachs. Interesting. Because like CNBC and things like that, they definitely have connections in Goldman Sachs, and there's probably sort of a revolving door. I know a lot of the contributors work at these hedge funds. So the possibility of maybe, them calling up CNBC and trying to make a news story to FUD the crypto markets so they could get a better deal. Interesting theory. Wouldn't be the first time hearing of this kind of thing. And news matters. News influences the markets. So good point, Entheo Sapien.